Hi, I'm Dr. Steve G. Jones. You may have seen me in Forbes, People, CNN, NBC, or CBS, just to name a few. And if you've ever wanted more from life, whether you're doing okay, but you'd like a little more cash, or whether you want the kind of money that will allow you to enjoy a lifetime of the absolute best that life has to offer every single day, then what I'm about to reveal to you will flat out shock you, because there is a reason why I'm a multimillionaire, and it's the same exact reason why Hollywood actors, directors, CEOs, and famous star athletes pay me thousands to share that same reason with them. And it's the reason why I now charge $25,000 per person for my one-on-one consultations. It's all because of a little-known yet clinically proven 6-step millionaire secret, one that works like crazy, yet that 99% of people will never know about, that awakens your natural inborn ability to make as much money as you want, anytime you want, no matter where you're coming from right now, by giving you the thoughts of a millionaire and the mind of a millionaire, so that you can draw in a lifetime of financial freedom, live your destiny, and experience the life and wealth of a millionaire faster and easier than you ever dreamed possible. And all it'll take is just a few minutes a day. Skeptical? I can't say I blame you. Yet I absolutely insist that this clinically proven 6-step secret is the one thing that will propel you forward into a lifetime of wealth and true financial freedom. And to give you the astonishing proof of exactly how well the secret works on anyone, and I really mean anyone, who uses it, I need you to hear this short, shocking story. A story that starts with a skinny, scared little 6-year-old boy. A 6-year-old boy who just watched his mom die of cancer, and whose dad is turning into an alcoholic right before his eyes. Imagine that boy right now, and you've got an image of me as a young kid. See, my dad worked hard to raise me, but my mom's painful death took a massive toll on him. And before long, most of our weekly income was being blown on alcohol. And I just automatically grew to believe that money is hard to come by, that life is hard work, and that if I ever wanted to make anything of my life, it would be a long, hard road. As an adult, that's exactly how life was for me. I was literally repelling money. As soon as it entered my bank account, it was gone. In fact, when I first opened my clinic in Beverly Hills, I felt like a fraud. From the outside, I seemed to have it all. A young consultant with a high-end clinic in Beverly Hills, a growing reputation, plenty of wealthy clients. Even all my office neighbors were mega successful plastic surgeons. But the reality was something so embarrassing that I hid it from the world, and from myself, like a deformed limb. I was $80,000 in credit card debt, and I was literally sleeping in my office each night because I couldn't afford a room to rent. Sure, I was getting some clients, but my rent was so ridiculously high that I couldn't even afford to meet my minimum card repayments. So what did I do? Well, I simply blocked it out. I was too scared to even look at my bank statements, so I just pretended the debt didn't exist. Meanwhile, I kept on going, working 60 hours a week and struggling, while in the background, my credit card balance silently grew and grew, like a suspicious lump you're too scared to get checked. And then, late one Friday, it all caught up to me at once, with an impact that struck me like a punch in the gut. I was just finishing up with a client when, without warning, a representative from the bank just showed up at my clinic. Trying to act calm, I walked my client to the door, but as soon as the door closed behind him, my hands started shaking, and my armpits bloomed with cold sweat, because I instinctively knew the jig was up. When the young, clean-shaven bank rep walked in my office, I couldn't have felt more paralyzed if he'd been a bearded Viking holding a broadsword instead of a bank rep holding a briefcase. He straightened his lapels and stood there eyeing me, unblinkingly. Like a king cobra eyeing a sparrow, I thought grimly. Dr. Jones, please sit down. Handed me a formal letter. Told me a balloon payment on my massive bank debt was now due. And then he uttered one short sentence. One short, greedy sentence that swallowed up my entire future in one quick gulp. Dr. Jones, if we haven't received payment of at least $30,239 by no later than 3 p.m. on the last Monday of this month, then we will have no choice but to refer your case to our debt collection agency, who will then initiate legal action against you. He was launching a Molotov cocktail right into the center of my life, and there wasn't a thing I could do about it. Because if I didn't hand over 30 grand in 3 weeks, then they were going to sue. And I was going to lose my clinic, my job, my home, everything. I begged for more time, but he refused. Said something about how the terms of my credit had always been clear, and now they were calling in the debt. As soon as the door closed behind him, I pounced on the phone, with my heart stuttering in my chest, and over the next hour, I called everyone I knew, shamelessly begging for help, but nobody could offer a dime. And slowly I realized this was it. There was no escape. I was going to have to file for bankruptcy, publicly declare my failure, lose my clients, my reputation, and destroy any hope of ever opening another clinic, getting a job, or even purchasing my own home, as no bank, broker, or employer was ever going to open the door to me now. That night, lying on a small, uncomfortable couch in my office, I'd never felt so alone and terrified in my life. I couldn't stop going over all the ways I'd messed up my life, how I was a failure as an adult, how I was a failure as a man, how I'd never find the right woman to start a family, and all for what? I couldn't stop thinking of how ashamed my mom would have been, the things my dad would say when he found out, how I'd be the laughingstock of all my colleagues, all my clients. I spent that night staring into the darkest abyss of my life, but little did I know, things were about to get even crazier, because not 2 days later I got a wake-up call that felt like God himself reached out and tapped me right in the shoulder. I was at the grocery store, stocking up on cans of beans and crackers, the only food I could afford at that time, when right there in the dry goods aisle, I bumped into an old friend of mine, Dan. Dan was an entrepreneur who owned a successful publishing business, and I'm ashamed to admit it, but when he asked me how I was, I just blurted everything out like a drowning man clutching for a life raft. "I'm in trouble, man," I said. "Do you think I could maybe borrow some money?" He asked how much, and when I told him the amount, Dan barely batted an eyelid. Instead, he just wanted to know why I needed it. And when I told him the mess I'd gotten myself into, he said, "No way will I lend you the money, but what if I told you how you could make the money? Not just this time, but any time you want." Without even waiting for me to answer, he led me to the Starbucks next door, and over a couple of Venti Americanos, he did something almost absurd. Something that felt both shockingly intense, yet somehow also as relaxing as slipping into a warm bath. And you'll understand exactly what I mean by this in just a second. So keep watching, because the most important part of this video is coming up. Sitting there in the coffee shop, he started talking to me in this sing-song tone. Right away I felt tingles like a centipede creeping up my spine, and my eyelids kind of fluttered. And pretty soon, something weird started happening, because I felt this strange confidence rising up in me like a balloon. And I felt that fog of anxiety and fear in my head start to clear. It was crazy. I remember thinking, is this what real happiness feels like? I'd never felt anything like it before. Then he stopped talking, and that's when the most important moment of my life happened. Right there in the coffee shop. And you'll want to remember this next part, because what you're about to hear is the single most important key to experiencing your life's richest future. I woke up. I felt like I'd been sleepwalking through my whole life, and someone had just reached out and shaken me awake. And when I said as much to Dan, he looked at me, winked, and said, "Yup." So what happened next? What was it that Dan did to me that day? And did it work? Well, fast forward to today, and these days I'm a multimillionaire several times over. I've been featured in Forbes magazine, People magazine, and countless articles and radio interviews. My clients include celebrities, executives, CEOs, directors, and star athletes, and I charge $25,000 per person for the same exact 6-step secret that I'm about to give you right now. The 6-step secret that changed everything for me, the same way it's going to change everything for you too. You see, when I left my friend at the coffee shop that day, I walked home in a mental state I'd never experienced before. Normally, my mind was a jumble of evil thoughts and negativity. All the ways I was a screw-up, how I could never get ahead. That day, instead of being clouded with evil thoughts, now I felt alive, awake, buzzing with ideas and inspiration. And best of all, the heavy sense of doubt and fear had lifted. I wasn't tense, I wasn't jittery, I was just clear. And that's when, out of nowhere, something absolutely crazy popped into my head. See, I'd had a small online business on the side these last couple of years, and while the business brought a few dollars here and there, it sure wasn't accumulating a lot of cash. It just sort of went along in the background, and every now and again I'd see a few bucks pop into my account, but walking home from the cafe that day, like a flicker of inspiration from God himself, an idea popped into my head. Right away, I whipped out my phone and called my business partner Frank, and told him what I had in mind. And I finished by saying, "So I figure my idea will make us about $60,000 over the next 3 weeks. Are you game?" Said Frank. "Wait, are you serious?" "As a heart attack," I said confidently. Well, Frank hemmed and hawed about making the changes, but the prospect of a free $60,000 must have sounded pretty convincing, because by the time I'd arrived back at my clinic, we'd struck a deal, and I got right to work. And it was really weird. Overall, I didn't even do that much. Not really. I reached out to a few of our customers, and I changed a few little things about the business, and I guess I tweaked a few things here and there, but I really didn't feel like I was doing anything at all. Yet, as the weeks went by, it was like I'd stepped through the looking glass and ended up in a strange new world, a world where money almost grew on trees. Because as the days turned into weeks, things started happening, like the tiny rumble preceding an avalanche. First, little trickles of money started coming in, then a bit more. And then, one day, it was like the floodgates had just opened, and everything just erupted like a volcano exploding. More and more people started flooding to the business, just begging to buy what we were selling. And in absolute shock, I watched with breathless glee as my idea wasn't just working, it was exploding, like a space rocket taking off. By the time the bank's deadline rolled around 3 weeks later, I gave the books one final going over, my heart thumping with adrenaline, my cheeks hot with pride. I saw that we had netted a total of over $59,920. Nearly $60,000 had just appeared. It felt like magic. It was amazing. As for Frank, well, his eyes were like saucers. Looking at the business account, his jaw was literally hanging open. "Holy crap, Steve," he said. "What did you do?" I barely knew what to say, because the truth was, even I didn't really know. Over the days and weeks that followed, things shifted in a big way. First, I paid off my bank loan, even had a few thousand left over afterwards. And then I started to use my newly awakened mind to come up with all kinds of ideas. Some little ideas, some big ones. Some that worked in just a few days, some that took weeks or months to kick in. Some that brought money in, and some that allowed me to save money or get the stuff I wanted for free. With the influx of fresh energy and new ideas, my clinic truly took off, and my clients began to experience success like never before. And things just kept happening faster and getting better until just 1 year later, my accountant called me up, and with a huge grin I could hear in his voice, he officially congratulated me on becoming a real-life millionaire. I had done it. I'd escaped the debt trap. I turned failure into success, saved my financial life, created the life I'd always wished could be mine, yet had never dared to truly hope for. And it was all because of the incredible power of the 6-step millionaire mind secret I got in that day in the coffee shop. So what was the secret I got that day? How do you use it? And how do you know if it will work for you in your life? Well, those are excellent questions. And the best way for me to answer those questions is with another short story that answers them perfectly. You see, when I saw the incredible results the secret was creating in my life, I knew I had to find out what the heck was actually going on here. So I met Dan at Starbucks again, and I begged him to please explain to me exactly what he'd done. He looked me in the eye across the table. "Well, Steve," he said, "I didn't want to tell you the first time because you were too freaked out to hear it. But the truth is, what I did was very simple. I gave you a new brain." I looked at him, waiting for the other shoe to drop. "What do you mean?" I asked finally. "Just that," he said calmly. "You had the brain of a poor person, so I deprogrammed it and took out all the blocks and negative thought programs that were keeping you stuck and gave you a new brain. A brain with extremely powerful mental connections and neural strength in the areas related to money, success, and wealth." Over the next 20 minutes, what Dan told me shook my entire concept of money and success like an avalanche. He told me he'd stumbled upon the secret himself some years ago, and this was what he'd personally used to create 7-figure business after 7-figure business. Would you like to know what it was that he revealed? Yes? Good answer. Imagine this. Your brain is the machine that drives your life. Every time you do anything, it comes directly from a thought that your brain had. Without the thought driving the action, there is no action, right? So that means if you don't have the thoughts of a rich person, then you'll never have the life, the money, or the results of a rich person. Because it turns out that no wealth is possible without the right kind of thoughts driving it. And the right kind of thoughts aren't even possible without the right kind of brain driving them. So for now, all you need to know is this: your thoughts are the drivers of your success, and they come from the machine running your life, your brain. And guess what? Apparently, rich people have a certain type of brain, whereas people like you and me, we have another. Now, this is where it really gets interesting. So watch closely. Typically, Dan said, rich people have incredible neural strength and connectivity in the right areas of the brain that make them wealthy and successful. They literally have a rich brain. They have all the mental programming and neural pathways to draw in vast wealth and success, to the point that for a person with a rich brain, it almost doesn't matter what they do. Their brain, the machine driving their life, will see that they end up rich no matter what. Just look at Steve Jobs. If he'd had a poor person's brain, he would have sunk without a trace. He flunked out of college. He got fired from multiple jobs. But because he had a rich brain with rich programming, his brain saw to it that he became wealthy and successful no matter what he did. For folks like you and me, we weren't born with that rich brain. We tried to model what the naturally rich people do, and we tried to make good decisions and accumulate wealth and success, but it's like our brain is a record with a scratch in it. The needle just keeps skipping and getting stuck in the same scratch, and our life never seems to really change for the better. So all I did was reshape your brain so that your brain could finally awaken all the key parts necessary for making money. Well, I thought about it, and yeah, I knew that whatever Dan had done had worked. Yet I'm a doctor with an EDD from Georgia Southern University. So hearsay wasn't enough. I needed to see the medical proof for myself. So I did more research. And what I found is going to shock the pants off you. Picture this. Your brain is a past and future-oriented survival machine. And its one priority is to keep you alive and breathing no matter what. Which means that to your brain, anything new is a threat. And I mean anything new at all. New ideas, new opportunities, new chances for wealth and success. Even if they're good, your brain sees all new things as danger. Now, it's not that your brain wants you to fail. It's just that your brain evolved to deal with a very different world. A world where threats were literally everywhere. And every time you left the house, or the cave, you might never come back. So your brain wants to keep you safe and secure and struggling. Because to your brain, what it knows is safe. You might be broke, but at least you're alive. And to your brain, that is success. So it keeps you stuck in the same old life, facing the same problems, worrying the same worries, never really seeing results. Now, we don't live in caveman times anymore. And the last time I checked, finding dinner didn't involve wrestling any saber-toothed tigers. Because the world has evolved and moved forward, but your brain hasn't. Your brain is still stuck in the survival wiring that keeps you sitting on the couch, seeing opportunities as risks, and basically staying stuck in that record scratch of failure. Which was great when we had hungry saber-toothed tigers to avoid, but which today means your brain has literally blinded itself to all of the skills, talents, and mental abilities necessary for making money. Skills like curiosity, creativity, power, drive, opportunity awareness, all of the skills necessary to make money have been turned off from inside your brain, all because of a simple glitch in your brain's survival programming that served you well once upon a time, yet that now has literally pre-programmed you to go through life with a poor person's brain instead of a rich person's brain. This is why you feel stuck in the same problems in your life. This is why you keep trying to change your life, but instead you just keep getting the same results. It's not your fault at all. It's simply your brain following its survival instinct to keep you alive in a way that no longer serves you. Can you see how a brain that's operating in the survival state of scarcity is a brain that will never be able to bridge the gap and become truly rich? If you said yes, then you'd be right. Yet it's not all bad news. Here's the final piece of the puzzle. Most people, scientists included, used to think that after a certain age your brain sets like concrete, and that your mental programming and neural pathways are set in stone. And it's no wonder, because unfortunately, most people do live their lives this way, never upgrading their mental hardware and never reaching their full wealth potential. But here's the really great news. Over 40 years of neuroscience research has now proven that you can change your brain at any age, including the part of your brain related to wealth and money, which means even if you have a poor person's brain all your life, you can choose to replace it with a rich brain. A brain that's better, faster, stronger, more powerful than ever before. A brain that naturally draws in your financial dreams and sees to it that you just get rich and more successful in life, no matter what happens. And best of all it'll take you is just a few minutes a day. When I read this research, I was galvanized. I knew this was the one thing I'd been searching for. The one thing that Dan had done to me in the coffee shop that day. The missing puzzle piece to the problem of everyone who wanted a rich life. The way to finally, easily, permanently give a person a rich brain and allow anyone who used it to turn desire into a lifetime of wealth. With all that in mind, I went ahead and took what I'd learned. And, with the research backing me up like a brick wall, I designed a system that would deprogram the poor person's brain inside your skull right now, and effortlessly, naturally, quickly replace it with the brain of a rich person. Not just neurologically, but emotionally, psychologically, mentally, even physically. A system that would give anyone who used it the neural capacity, strength, power, and drive of a millionaire by giving them the thoughts, the brain, and the life of a millionaire. Not in a few months from now, not in a few weeks from now, by using a method that works with such precision and hyper-focused speed that most people start to see results the first time they use it. Oh, and in case you're wondering, this is no shoddy get-rich-quick fad. More than 2 full years of full-time clinical study and testing have gone into the research of this method. And, in fact, this method has been trialed and tested in its early form by the British Psychological Medicine Group. That's an internationally renowned medical group that publishes a journal. Those scientists tested the basis for this method under the most rigorous medical trials imaginable, and they still couldn't find a flaw. They were forced to conclude that the basis for this method was medically sound and would work for the vast majority of people who tried it. So I went ahead and developed the method further, refining and testing it on clients, friends, and even people off the street. Here's what they had to say. Avi Wallenstein from Thousand Oaks, California said, "I'm a salesperson, and I came to Dr. Steve G. Jones for help in boosting my income. In the week following, I made an extra $10,000 in commissions. Now I'm on a whole new level of thinking. Steve, you rock." Nadine said, via email, "My dearest Steve, adore this program. Started with 100% commitment from day one. The results are profound beyond words. Watched a steady growth unfolding. The in-depth transformation and understanding remarkable. With love and gratitude, share your site and emails with all." Winston had this to say. "Hi, Dr. Jones. I find your program highly beneficial, life-changing, and wealth-building. Please keep up your great work. You can rest assured I will be recommending your great life-changing program to others. God bless. Sincerely, Winston I. Henry." Tess Nietzsche said, "The material is top-notch." And MW from the UK said, "After listening to your material, I have found myself both a business partner and an investor who wants to invest $1.5 million in my concept. Meanwhile, my partner has been headhunted twice for 2 jobs, one which is triple his pay, all in the space of a month. Incredible. Thanks for your great sessions. Look, these are real testimonials from real people who used my method and saw real results. And unlike some hypey scheme where they say these results are not typical, guess what? I see results like this all the time. The material simply works, which is why just about all of the people I tested this method on say they wouldn't part with it for any amount of money. According to them, since they've tried my method, everything just seems easier now. Opportunities just seem to fall into their laps. All the procrastination, doubt, and fear that kept them stuck and living small are gone. And their dreams of becoming wealthy, of shedding debt, of quitting work, traveling the world, getting that house on the beach, becoming financially free, are now no longer just a hope or a dream. Not a wish or even a belief, but a reality. So here we are right now, with you standing in the doorway to a lifetime of true wealth. And I've done something kind of special. I've gone ahead and unlocked that door for you. However, before I swing open the door all the way and give you the tested and proven 6-step millionaire mind secret that's changed so many lives already, there's one more thing I need you to understand. this method isn't a game. It is power. The power to deliberately change your mind into the mind of a millionaire, to literally sculpt and mold the pathways and connections of your wealth-creating brain, to convert your dreams and hopes of a better, richer life into your proven, tangible, day-to-day reality. And all you have to do is just flick the switch, and your mind and brain will automatically adjust. Imagine all the resources you could ever need right there at your fingertips. Not just the financial resources, but the mental resources, emotional resources, reference group resources, social support, ideas, skills, stamina, drive, inspiration, the ability to see what you want and just reach out and take it. It's like nothing you've ever experienced before. It's honestly like magic. So how exactly does it work? Well, there are 6 stages to fully awakening your rich person's brain. The moment you embark upon the 6-step process, you'll start to see things happen right away. The first sign it's working will be that you'll start to see opportunities when, before, you only saw fear, lethargy, and doubt. Some of the opportunities will be for quick cash, and some will be opportunities that take a little bit longer. But that's why you'll want to stick with it, as things keep getting better and better, until just a few short days or weeks from now, wild horses couldn't drag you away from the few short minutes you spend with this method each day, because every time you use it, you see results unfolding faster and more powerfully, and increasing with greater and greater speed. Imagine a brain that works with your natural money-making innate abilities, a brain that sees the opportunities surrounding you right now and takes advantage of them in the shortest amount of time possible, a brain that doesn't just think like a millionaire, a brain that has literally reshaped itself into the mind of a millionaire. Faster, stronger, more powerfully adept and creative than you've ever experienced before. As I previously mentioned, this system is clinically tested and proven to work. Complete the full 6 stages of this 6-part secret, and I guarantee you will see results that are going to blow your mind. I've literally tested and ironed out every last possible kink. So all you have to do is simply relax, listen in, and follow along. You don't even have to do any thinking of your own. You don't have to do any work or fill out any exercise booklets. The system is fully automated and attuned to work with the natural action of your brain waves, to effortlessly, automatically retune your brain's electrochemistry and neural pathways from the inside. Just follow the steps, listen along 1 time per day. It fits right into your routine and just takes a few minutes, and you will feel changes happening right away, not only in your mood and energy levels, but visible, palpable changes in your day-to-day life. You'll be able to count on a future that's 100% free of financial anxiety. Just imagine being able to finally shrug off the difficulties, failures, and mistakes of years past. And not by thinking positive or wishful thinking either, but literally by reshaping your brain to move beyond failure to a future of limitless wealth and possibility. It's so much easier than you'd ever believe. Once you know how to awaken your rich brain, your mind does all the work for you. It's like being handed a golden ticket to your life's richest, most incredible future. Like being given superhuman powers of inspiration and clarity, the ability to set goals and achieve them with the kind of hyperspeed mastery that takes normal people 10 years or longer to achieve. Imagine, no more feeling trapped by your own mind, no more feeling fogged in by uncertainty, self-doubt, or the pressures that used to keep you stuck in a rut. And how about having an improved outlook on life? More resilience, more laughter, more joy, the ability to bring balance and purpose to your life, and the blessed ability to fulfill that purpose, a sense of forward momentum effortlessly breezing through the blocks that used to stop you cold. Most people who use this system say that the ability to evolve past procrastination alone is worth its weight in gold. See, I'm not going to change your brain. I'm just going to allow you to achieve your true innate money-making ability, the one you were born with, the one you've never been able to experience fully until now. I know you're probably wondering about the price, and we'll get to that. But first, are you ready? Are you ready to experience life as a millionaire? To assume your birthright of true wealth? To realize your natural, innate ability to make as much money as you want, anytime you want, no matter where you're coming from right now? Because if you are, and I know you are, I'm ready to let you in the door. give you the benefits of the months of hard work I and my team did, testing this stuff out on men and women of every age in every possible type of financial situation you can think of. And now, after seeing the incredible results these men and women experienced in their lives as a result of my method, now it's your turn to experience those incredible results for yourself. Because when my team and I got to work mapping out the proven and tested 6-step secret of the millionaire's brain, we knew 3 things. 1, it had to be fast, because people need results quickly, so it had to work without fail in just minutes a day. 2, it had to be easy, literally as close to automatic as possible, so you don't have to worry about coming up with any ideas or doing anything yourself. And 3, it needed to be scientifically tested and proven to work, so that nobody could fail, and the whole method would literally be foolproof. So that's exactly what we did. Together, we created a Millionaire Mind method that allows you to make as much or as little money as you want, anytime you want, no matter where you're coming from right now. And we call it Total Money Magnetism, the secret neuroscience of millionaires. Here's just a tiny sample of the incredible results you're going to get when you invest in the Total Money Magnetism program today. First, you'll get my Millionaire Detox, which clears out all the sludge that's physically sabotaging your brain, and almost overnight hands you the completely crystal clear mental abilities to manifest millions, so that instead of being paralyzed by doubt, uncertainty, fear of failure, and procrastination, now you're absolutely clear. You know exactly what you need to do, and exactly how to do it, so that instead of being stuck in the slow lane, your brain's put into the jet stream, and the wealth opportunities come rushing into your life like a tsunami of abundance. Next, you'll get the thought virus override, which is exactly what it sounds like. A permanent wipe of every last vestige of money-destroying blockages your mind's been jammed up with. And this has been shown over and over again to boost your income by up to 40% in the first month alone, all by itself. Next, the Millionaire Mind Amplifier, which amplifies and intensifies your millionaire results. Next, there's the Millionaire Mind Maker Money Accelerator, which is designed to increase your speed of results by up to 45%, so you can accomplish in weeks or months what it would normally take years or decades to accomplish by activating what's called a wealth reverberation effect inside your brain that mirrors, accelerates, and amplifies your results for you through the science of epigenetics, the clinically proven miracle of epigenetics that allows you to sculpt and mold your brain into a bona fide millionaire's brain, giving you the thoughts of a millionaire, the results of a millionaire, and the wealth of a millionaire, no matter where you're coming from right now. Can you imagine how your life is going to change when you have this? When you experience this? When you have this incredible power? The ability to not just think like a millionaire, but to actually be a millionaire? To replace the financial fear and lack with a lifetime of financial abundance? How much is it worth to you to have this power for yourself? I don't want to get heavy here, but I see so many people working themselves to the bone, living their lives in exhaustion, because they don't know how to draw in the money they need. They don't know about the one thing that will make all the difference financially, the one thing that will allow them to experience their financial dreams. So, keeping that in mind, what do you think would be a fair price for Total Money Magnetism? I think a price of $197 or more would be a pretty darn good deal. Yet I know that sometimes times are tough, and when you most need to invest in yourself is exactly when you can't afford to, not even when you know it's for something that's going to change your life forever. So that's why I'm going to take the risk for you. See, I've made my money already. Now I want to pass the torch on to you to allow you to reach out and live your financial destiny without any risk at all. And that's why today only, you are not going to pay $197. Not $167, not even $107. For you today, I'm setting the price of Total Money Magnetism at just one single payment of only $97. And if you solemnly swear to act right now, and that means before this video ends, I'll knock another 50% off and give you the whole thing for a massively discounted price of $47. Just click the big button below, and it's all yours immediately. But you really have to act right now. Why? Well, because this method was extremely tough for me to create. I don't want a bunch of random people getting their hands on it and making it less powerful for the rest of us. So if you try to come back later and you missed your chance, well, I'm truly sorry about that, but if you don't act right now, then there's just nothing I can do for you. Plus, just to show you there's absolutely no way you can lose with this, I'm going to back everything with a completely jaw-dropping guarantee. Here's how it works. Click the button now, place your order, Use the material. See for yourself how easy it is to make all the money you want when you awaken the rich brain that automatically seeks out and draws in your wealth for you. Take a full 60 days to fully inspect and test out the program. And if you don't feel like you got at least 10 times the value, then simply send me an email to support@totalmoneymagnetism.com, and I'll give you every dime back right away. Why am I being so generous? Because I want this for you. Because I know this is going to transform your life. How quickly it's going to allow you to start living your financial destiny. Plus, if you're still not sure, then I've got 3 very special gifts for you today. First, you're getting Millionaire's Mindset. This is an exclusive interview with self-made millionaires that gives you a step-by-step blueprint from up to $100,000 in debt to millions in the bank. Dollar value, $97. Today, yours free. Next, self-made millionaire entrepreneur Mark Ling's 3 fastest ways to make millions online. A premier video course that shows you how you can make hundreds, thousands, even millions of dollars online, even if you can barely click a mouse right now. Simple, fast, guaranteed to work. Dollar value, $297. Today, yours free. Plus, you're also getting the Platinum Millionaire Mind Maker's 3 tested, proven, and ultra-powerful Millionaire Mind Reset audios that drastically increase your millionaire results by invisibly dissolving your unconscious blocks to wealth from inside your subconscious mind. Dollar value, $239.85. Today, yours free. So let's add it all up just so you can see what an incredible deal you're getting. First, you're getting the Total Money Magnetism program, which you already know is worth at least $197. Then, you're also getting the Millionaire's Mindset, worth $97, Mark Ling's fastest ways to make millions online, $297, and 3 Platinum Millionaire Mind Maker audio tracks, $239.85. Add it all up and it comes to $830.85. But today, with your special discount, you'll get everything for just $47. And all you have to do to take advantage of this incredible deal is click the button right now. See for yourself how fast and easy and almost automatic it is to feel your brain changing as opportunities come knocking, as people start to notice and whisper and wonder and finally ask you outright, how on earth are you doing all this? What's happened to you? Where does all this money keep coming from? See how at first small things start to happen, then bigger things. And then the momentum gathers and the floodgates open wider and wider. Money, opportunities, resources, wealth comes rushing into your life like an unstoppable flood of abundance. You are going to be astonished at the change in your life when you get this. How the worries that once seemed so crushing suddenly become so easy. How the stress just drops away. How the doors that once seemed locked so tight against you now just swing open right when you need them. How every day your heart just gets lighter and lighter, and you can feel that sense of warm relief relaxing your muscles like a gentle massage, and how this incredible freedom to live life on your own terms means that now you get to wake up every morning with a smile on your face. You get to live every single day on your own terms. You get to be your own boss, because that's one of the nice things about having lots of money. You get to make your own choices in life, and nobody ever has anything to say about it, as long as the check clears. In fact, I personally promise you, spend just minutes a day using my 6-step secret, follow the steps exactly as written, and I guarantee you will experience mind-blowing results, starting in as little as 3 weeks or less. And you've seen the proof with your own eyes. You've heard from Avi, Nadine, Winston, and Tesnicha. You've seen the medical proof and heard the ecstatic reviews. So now it's time for action, because the way I see it, right now, you have just 2 options. 1, leave this page right now. Go back to your normal life, a life of money worries, financial despair, lack of freedom, lack of choices, a life where every time you start to get ahead, someone or something comes along and takes it away again. Or there's choice 2. Just take my hand right now. Enroll in the Total Money Magnetism right now. Get everything I've promised you in this video. Let me give you what you need to live out your financial destiny. With my 60-day guarantee, you risk nothing. And with this one-time discount, you're getting more than 50% off. If you act now, you literally can't lose. In fact, I wish I could reach out of the screen and make you see how incredible and easy and fun and guaranteed your life's incredible, rich future is when you act now. But I can't do that, which means the choice, as always, is up to you. So let me say one last thing before this video ends forever. I think you've spent enough time struggling. I think you want and deserve more from life. I think you deserve to know exactly what it feels like to be truly financially free, to live your life on your terms, and answer to nothing and nobody unless you feel like it. I mean, isn't it something you want? Don't you at least want to find out? If you act now, you risk nothing. And you're getting 3 incredible free gifts that are guaranteed to make this experience as easy and rewarding as possible for you. And you're getting a huge discount off the regular price. Just click the button below. Please, act now before it's too late. I personally guarantee you won't regret it. This is your last chance. The video is now ending. Please click the Add to Cart button to order right now.